some reason, he just pulled back, and then he said to me, "You can leave." Just ran right down here on the right, and just was banging on the door. When they asked me, "Well, what's going on? What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I could only say, my mother. And they kind of just, settled me down, I was just, I don't know what was going on, just really lost.
God, William, thank you for taking us back there. But what happened to you? Obviously, you're here. William's here. So, what happened to you after that?
Wow, I lost everything. I mean, I lost my mom. I was a mama's boy, so I went everywhere with her. That day I actually wanted to go with her, but, when it came to me pleading for my life, I decided that I wanted to go the other way, just attend. I was lost growing up as a teenager, and I didn't know where I was. I was just in a life of despair. I just had all the feelings just bundled up and get a chance to actually talk about it.
So who helped you?
Wow, my grandmother. I mean, she jumped right in that day, and she's been going ever since. She worked, I think, a week after.
Thank God for the grandmother.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Healing is possible, and recovery is absolutely a guarantee when you have somebody like my grandmother, who spent 38 years on her job, late less than 10 times, and did not use an alarm clock. Yeah, she cheated a little bit. She went to bed at 7:30. But I'll tell you what, if you want to know what resiliency looks like, the ability to bounce back from adversity, illness, trauma, anything, it looks just like that. Like me, like you, the individuals every day who get up every day and serve our children and provide a safe place, a place where they can heal, and a place where there's hope. And I love the themes this morning. We're talking about hope and faith. You see, all of those things are so important. And I have to thank my grandmother. When they asked me to be on Oprah, they asked me to come on the show alone. And I said, well, I cannot go on that show without my grandmother. It's just not going to happen.
Okay.
Well, you know what? They said, well, bring your grandmother. My grandmother said, well, I can't go on without your sister. So my sister came on. And then my best friend came on. We had a support network on Oprah. And the only time Oprah got up out of her seat on that show was the time when she said, thank God for grandmothers. And she got up in those pumps and those heels, and she walked over to my grandmother. As you know, she takes those heels off during a second. She put them on, and she walked over to my grandmother. But what does that say about our sheroes, about our heroes? That it's possible that we can heal. Let me tell you a story. I'm going to walk around a little bit. I don't know how far this is going to go, but I like to just go for it. I like to speak right from my heart, and you'll understand why. When I left that room that day, I didn't have any hope. If you can imagine your caregiver, your leader, your guide, your protector on the ground, and you can't do one thing to help. You're forced to sit and watch. Then he walks over to my 12-year-old brother, a child, and he shoots him in the face. If that wasn't enough, he walked back over to my mom and made sure she couldn't get up, and he shot her again. So when he came to me, I knew I was dead that day. I had given it all up. I had given every ounce of hope up on earth that I could survive. But I'll tell you he put that gun to my head, I knew I didn't want to die. It was a tough split between where my mom went, where my brother went, to where I was going. And I wanted to survive. My mom yelled, "No," was her last words to him, loud as she could yell. She was fighting to the very